Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip. What Novak Djokovic just said about Juan Martín del Potro is a brilliant lesson in humble leadership and public praise. When I worked for a major manufacturer, every year a certain amount of money was allocated for capital improvement projects. Since our facility tended to outperform the others, we rarely won those major project justification competitions. But for 2 consecutive years, I did manage to get multi-million-dollar equipment upgrade projects approved. Lots of paperwork, projections, models and sensitivities, and even promises. One executive told me if we didn't hit projected numbers, he would make sure I never got promoted again. The first time our plant manager took a moment to recognize me at a plant-wide leadership meeting. I don't remember everything he said, but I recall him talking about projects he had gotten approved in years past, other initiatives he wanted to pursue, and how he had pulled strings behind the scenes to get this one approved. That part I do remember vividly, since he had to look at his notes to remember what the project was for. Eventually, he wound down and said, "Let's give Jeff a round of applause." Skillful praise. All in all, it was fine with me, since I did not and do not like public praise. The next year, our new plant manager recognized me at a leadership meeting, but he didn't digress. He didn't take any credit for the project's approval. He didn't, in any way, make the moment about him. The focus was totally on me, and as uncomfortable as it made me, I haven't forgotten what he said and how he handled himself because it was a perfect example of how to recognize an employee. Which leads us to Novak Djokovic and Juan Martín del Potro. Del Potro retired this week after an exhibition match against Djokovic. Djokovic lost, because that's what you do in a farewell exhibition. Del Potro cried, because that's what you do when you draw the curtains on a pursuit you've devoted much of your childhood and all of your adult life to. And your body. Del Potro has been open about the toll injuries have taken and the physical limitations he now experiences. Leadership lessons. For the last point of the match, Djokovic served up an easy one for Del Potro to put away, and as the two met at the net, they shared a long hug and some personal words. That moment was for them. After that, Djokovic keeps the spotlight focused on Del Potro. He takes him back out on the court to bask in the applause, and then steps back, stands and claps softly while Del Potro gathers himself and soaks in the last time he'll stand on a court in front of a crowd, encourages the crowd to stand and keep the applause going, both to honor Del Potro and to give him time to collect himself. Djokovic addressed the crowd in Spanish, which was another way to honor Del Potro, and said, "Like everyone here in this stadium, I am very emotional. I'm also grateful to play with my friend who is a great person, a great player. As I have said 1,000 times, I don't know anyone who isn't in love with Juan Martín. Everyone loves him. In my country, the culture and values are how a person behaves. All the professionalism you obviously have, but it is important to always have respect in life, not just in your eyes, but also your heart. And I think Juan Martín is an example for us. Your greatest victory in life, it's that. He's a wonderful person. Heartfelt, genuine, sweet, and focused on Del Potro, the person, not Del Potro, the athlete. Victories come and go, and in a larger sense, money, promotions, achievements, etc., come and go. But how you treat people and how you make people feel can last a lifetime. Djokovic clearly likes Del Potro for who he is, not just for what he has done, and makes sure the crowd knows it. The next time you publicly praise and recognize an employee, take a moment to consider how. Don't be tempted to, in any way, make the moment about you. No jokes, no self-deprecating comments. Nothing that shifts the attention in any way onto you. Instead, be specific. Say what the person did, how they did it, why they did it, why it made an impact or difference, and then get out of the way and let them bask in the moment. Because when you recognize people, when you honor people for what they have done or for the person they are, it should be all about them, not, however slightly, about you. That's all for today. You can find more articles by Jeff Hayden and other thought and business leaders at Inc.com. Check back tomorrow morning for another tip from Inc.